What's good, gang? It's your boy Finding Miko, and what I want to do today is talk about them turtles, because as we all know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of the most popular franchises of all time, and it's definitely my personal favorite franchise of all time. That would explain why I have this. I also have the Funko Pops, and I'm wearing this TMNT sweater, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Mutant Mayhem backdrop. Now, I grew up with the TMNT, specifically the 2003 version that came on 4Kids, which a lot of people deem as the best Ninja Turtle series of all time, even though I feel like 2012 is better. But what I want to talk about is why TMNT lasted so long, because if you don't know, the Ninja Turtles came out in 1987, at least the animated series. 1987, it is now 2024, and we're getting a new Ninja Turtle series. That's years and decades stacked on top of each other. Why do people love these turtles so much? That's what we finna talk about. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, one of the first reasons I feel like people love the Ninja Turtles is because the characters are super relatable and the dynamics the characters have with one another. Now, obviously, we can't relate to being adolescent, martial arts knowing reptiles. That just ain't possible. I wish it was, but it ain't. Let me put it into perspective. For me personally, as a sibling, I really relate to Leo, Mikey, Raph, and Donnie on that level of having multiple siblings. I get where every last one of them come from. Depending on what bunch of siblings I'm with, I may feel like Leo. I gotta be the responsible one. I gotta hold everything down. I gotta keep everybody in check. Or there's times where I'm one of the youngest and I feel like Mikey. I'm more laid back. I'm making jokes. I'm having fun, you know. And listen, I'm not much of an angry person, but you may be. So you may resonate with Raph when you know he wants to throw punches. He want to fuss and fight, and he's a bit of a bully, if we're being honest. Then there's Donnie, the tech savvy, the high achiever when it comes to intellect. We all know someone like him. If you're not him, I know I'm not, because my grades weren't the best in school, okay? But yeah, it's like these characters are super relatable, man. I feel like everyone knows a Leo, everyone knows a Mikey, a Raph, a Donnie, even Splinter, because we all got parents, at least most of us. I hope you have parents. But even Master Splinter, you know, he cares about his sons. He takes care of them. He teaches them right from wrong. We know a Master Splinter. It may be your dad, your granddad, uncle, older sibling. Who knows? And then you just really kind of love the family dynamic that you see from the Turtles. Every generation has that kind of family dynamic where it's like, these siblings get along more than these ones. Or, you know, sometimes you may bump heads with this sibling, but you have that camaraderie and you know what's up with each other. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's just relatable, especially when it comes to the family dynamic with the Turtles and how they interact with each other. Super relatable, and you just love that aspect of the Turtles. Everyone loves it, so yeah. And another reason, generational relevance. Now, I don't know if that's a real term, but listen, like I said in the beginning of the video, the Ninja Turtles has been airing on TV since 1987. It is 2024. We are getting a new series later this year. That's crazy. Be honest. Everyone has their personal favorite Ninja Turtle series. Whether it's a show or a movie, everybody has their favorite. If you're an older guy or gal, I know you love the 1987 series. I know that's your personal favorite because that's what you grew up with, and that is the original, and a lot of people tend to love the original more than the rest of the franchise, and that's okay. Excuse me. Or, if you're anything like me, you grew up with the 2003 series. The 2003 series is one of the most well-beloved Ninja Turtles adaptation. I think that may be the most loved because as long as I've been on TikTok, social media, all of that, 2003 TMNT got some fans, like some diehards. Or 2012. A lot of people love 2012 as well. Me personally, I consider TMNT 2012 to be the best Ninja Turtles series of all time. 2012 is amazing. That is my holy grail. I think it's better than all the rest, but that may change with Tales of the TMNT coming out later this year. Who knows? Or 2014's Rise. Now for me, Rise of the TMNT wasn't for me, but I know a lot of people does definitely like this show, and that's fine. It just ain't for me. So there's that. But then you got the movies. You got the 1990 movie, the very first live action Ninja Turtles adaptation. You got Secret of the Ooze, Turtles in Time, or you can even jump into the 2007 TMNT movie, which I really don't like. I'm sorry, I may do a video on that because listen, I hate that movie. Or you may like the Michael Bay movies. Now listen, the first Michael Bay movie, I wasn't feeling, but the second one, oh yeah, I like that way more than the first one. That's not the best, but it's still better than the first. And then you got Mutant Mayhem. Oh, I love Mutant Mayhem. The cast, the art style, the action, the direction it's taking the franchise in, it is amazing. The Ninja Turtles is just so generational. Like I said, everyone has their favorite version of the Turtles. Everyone does. And you know, with each new adaptation of the Turtles, we get new slang, we get new references, we get new pop culture things thrown in there. You see what I'm saying? So each Turtles series or movie is like a time capsule of the era it came out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it'll always be relevant, because with every new generation, there's going to be a new generation of Turtles, new versions, and things like that. So yeah, generational relevance is a big thing for the TMNT. So yeah. Another reason I feel like this franchise lasted as long as it did is because of the colorful characters and their different personalities. Now, I touched up on this a bit in the beginning, how we have Leo, Mikey, Raph, Donnie, who all obviously have different personalities from one another. Then you also throw in Master Splinter, April, Casey. You know, there's a lot of characters to fall in love with. Now, me personally, Michelangelo has always been my favorite turtle. I love the jokester, I love the prankster, I love the laid back guy, I love the slacker. It's like that with a lot of franchises. I will always just lean more towards them characters because I feel like I resonate with them more because I'm usually the more laid back person in the group. Then you have Leonardo. Leo is the leader in blue that I love wholeheartedly. He's my second favorite Ninja Turtle. Seeing Leo deal with the responsibilities of being the leader, being the oldest, being the most responsible. He's the one that gotta handle all the big things when it comes to fights and or either communicating with Master Splinter. Leo is top dog when it comes to them Ninja Turtles. And I feel like that's why a lot of people love him. People love a tough, badass leader. So you gotta respect it. Leo is also that guy. My man always delivers the finishing blow on whatever villain they're fighting, specifically Shredder, because Leo popped that man's head off a couple times. Then you got Donatello, the brains, the nerd, the geek. Donnie, now listen, me with Donnie, it really depends on the variation, because I don't like Rise Donatello, but I love every other adaptation. But Donnie is always going to be the lovable geek that everyone wants to hang with. He's smart, but he's also a fun smart guy. It's like he's not a head up his butt kind of geek where it's like, alright, you're kind of annoying. But you love Donnie, you love that nerd. He's my favorite geek in fiction, honestly. Now, let's talk about Raphael. Raph is the angry man. He's the hothead. He's the one that wants to fight before he talks. Unless we're talking about Rise Raph, which I'd rather not. But yeah, Raph is the aggressor. My man just want to fight. That's all he wants. He just want to fight. But Raph also has more layers to his character. He's shown multiple times that he loves his brothers. He loves his family. He'll do anything to protect them. And that's what makes Raph such an interesting character. Because he puts up this facade like he really doesn't care about his siblings and all he wants to do is fight, train, etc. But when you really look at his character, he loves his family, and that leads for such an interesting dynamic in certain situations, you know. Master Splinter, everyone's favorite rat, because no one likes a rat, but we all love Master Splinter, right? I hope we all love Master Splinter. Master Splinter, he's the dad. He raised the Turtles. He's the no-nonsense father for the boys, at least every other adaptation aside from at least every other adaptation aside from Rise, because listen, I do not like Rise, not at all. But you gotta love Splinter. He's the reason the Turtles are the way they are. He's the reason they fight the way they fight. He's the reason they've lived so long in the main streets of New York as mutant reptiles. We gotta love Splinter. I really love the versions of Splinter where he has a bit more personality than just the old sensei, you know, specifically the 2012 version. Like I said, 2012 is my favorite Ninja Turtles adaptation. So yeah, that's my favorite version of Splinter, and I resonate that with Splinter in general. Or 2003. I really love 2003 Splinter. You can even talk about Casey and April being the sidekicks. Casey is like another Raph, but just not as aggressive in certain ways, because there's times where Casey and Raph bump heads and you see like they're just way too much alike. But Casey is a jock, he's a strong man, he's a bit dim-witted depending on what variation you look at, but Casey is a lovable knucklehead. And then April. April is the Turtles' big sister, depending on what variation you want to look at, because the whole Donnie-April romance ship thing from 2012 destroyed that, and I hate it. But April is just the Turtles' sidekick. She's their road dog. April is the one that gets the scoop on the human world for the Turtles. If there's something they can't find out because they can't really investigate due to them being Ninja Turtles, April is the one that handles all that. She's the one that gets the drop. So yeah, you gotta love April. And she has a little sassy attitude to her that adds a bit of a womanly touch to the full boy dynamic that is the four Turtles, Splinter, and Casey, which is nice to see. All those characters together just makes up for so many combinations, so many mixtures, so many different vibes, auras, energies, and it's just fresh because you never get tired of seeing any of them because there's so many. You don't really get to spend much time with one mixed match of characters. You don't get to spend a lot of time with one group because there's so many characters and they mix and match personalities well. So you're coming back for every adaptation, just like I did. I've been loving TMNT for as long as I can remember, which is a long time. And for the final reason, the Turtles makes money. Like, people love to spend their money on these Turtles, and as you can see from the Funko Pops I've shown you, this sweater, I also have a Ninja Turtle shirt. I love spending money on them Turtles as well. Future Miko incoming. I also have these bag clips and the first 2 seasons of TMNT 2012. That's where a lot of my... Man! Fortnite robbed me blind when they dropped that Ninja Turtles collab. I spent so much money on V-Bucks. I've never spent money on Fortnite until they dropped the Ninja Turtle skins. But no, the Ninja Turtles makes millions on top of millions of dollars. Whether you're talking about toys, clothing, box office, streams, whatever you want to throw into the equation, the Ninja Turtles are almost instant money makers. If I see them Turtles faces attached to anything, I'm gonna buy it. And I know I'm not the only one. I know you watching this right now, you're probably like, damn, I got some Ninja Turtle stuff in my Amazon cart right now. You know I do. But yeah, man, the Turtles makes money. Whoever owns them Turtles are guaranteed a check. Guaranteed they finna get a payout. It's guaranteed they finna make millions because the people love the Turtles. The Turtles are just always gonna be this franchise that's instant money makers, man. For the reasons I already listed. Everyone loves these reptiles. Now, obviously, the reasons I gave aren't the only reasons the Turtles are popular or why they lasted so long. These are just the reasons why I feel like the Ninja Turtles lasted as long as they did. And I don't know if I did a good job even explaining my point of view or my perspective as to why the Turtles is such a long-lasting franchise. But I tried. But as always, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments, why do you feel like the TMNT has lasted so long? Why do you think this franchise is so popular? Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? What's your favorite Ninja Turtle adaptation? I want to know all of that. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTuber chiz. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm out. See y'all in the next video.